All right, y'all, welcome back to Common Arms channel. Okay, so today we are checking out units out of Indonesia. Now, I think these guys are kind of like a sub-team in the Indonesian brimob that we've checked out before. Now, these guys are and I'm not going to pronounce this correctly at all, but this is the Wanteror unit. I don't know. It seems like they're more specifically tailored to CQB, but kind of like hostage rescue. And of course, you guys already know I'm a big fan of doing these CQB breakdown videos. Now, from what I've seen in this video already, it seems pretty impressive. Like the training area, the tactics I've seen so far, and also the gear looks pretty legit. So I want to do a little CQB breakdown for these guys and sort of see how they do it and how it compares to what I did in the Marine Corps when I was on the recapture tactics team. And if you guys don't know, to be a member of that team, you need to be an 8154, which is basically the Marine Corps job for CQB team member. So with that training, hopefully we can see some tactics and sort of break it down and compare it to other things and maybe why they're doing this as opposed to other tactics that you might see. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's do it. And of course, we're gonna have to pause it every now and again to make sure we get a good breakdown of everything. Okay, and the first thing, of course, is the gear. It looks like he's got an AUG magazine, but it looks like they have SIG pistol caliber carbines, or no, SIG rifles. I can't really tell. Looks like a SIG optic maybe, and then maybe a D-ball sort of laser. They have silencers, pretty nice. I do like the color of their combat top there. It's pretty freaking slick. That's not a color that I've seen with like any other police or even like any other, sort of military units. Now, I noticed that they have a sort of badge patch, which is kind of interesting because I haven't even seen that much with other sort of foreign police as far as like a badge sort of patch like this. For usually tactical units, they have like a shield or something, but not necessarily like a badge like you'd see with most police. Yeah, nice gear though. Okay. All right. Whenever I see patches like this, I'm immediately like, judgy, but I think these are pretty tasteful, especially with like the color of kit. We've seen some pretty kind of cringy morale patches, and I think these are pretty tasteful, so no issues there. So I'm checking out their stack. Looks like they're moving pretty well. I noticed this guy's kind of cheating off to the side. Oh, it looks like he has a breaching device, so he might just be a breacher. Okay, I do like how they have some offset off of the wall, so he has kind of room to move up and do his thing. And also, when rounds hit walls, they tend to, skirt along the wall. So it's better to be a little bit of distance off the wall anyway. Okay. He's getting across so the breacher can do his thing. Now, this is always going to be dependent on, their night vision is pretty freaking dope too. This is always going to be dependent on how the door is actually set up. Because depending on how the door opens, so if the door opens this way and this dude is sort of first exposed to the room as it opens outward, then obviously you don't want the breacher to be on that side because you would be pulling it open. But if he's breaching, it's probably an inward, hopefully it's an inward opening door, so it should get pushed in. And if he's hitting the doorknob on this side, then that means the hinges are going to be on this side. So these guys will be first exposed. So generally you'll have to assess the actual door frame before you get the breacher in the right spots, but it looks like they're probably used to training on this, so they probably know where the breacher is supposed to go. Yep, so those guys are exposed. Flashbang going in, very nice. Okay. Oh my gosh, those walls are so blue. Why are they so blue? I mean, it's kind of nice. It's kind of weird because it's giving me like a kid's room, like a playroom vibe, or like an elementary school vibe. But okay. Oh my God, that's really dark, especially for an American to say. But okay, so yeah, it looks like they're going in. So he pushed this way. I don't know where the two-man went. This is a corner fed room. So corner fed basically means there's not really like any big wall segment. So once you go into the room, you can't really stay in the corner because then you're going to be in the doorway still. And generally speaking, you don't want to be staying in the doorway because that's where all the bullets are theoretically going to be flying when people are making entry. So this dude, the one man's going this way. Generally, the two man would ride this wall, and I think he still can do that because, this dude's dead. He can engage him again, but then he can also get a better angle on this doorway we see here. Ooh, that's a tight doorway though. With gear? Nice. I like that they're banging every room. That's a slow, I gotta say, that's a pretty slow fuse for a flashbang. And I don't know if I can say I'm like a flashbang expert. I've used plenty, but I think this is more of like a psychological thing. It's better to have a flashbang with a very short fuse. I think our fuses were like 1.2 or 1.5 seconds. So basically, as you're releasing it, that thing is going to go off like basically a second later, which is good because right when it gets into the room, people are going to look at it. And then if it goes off right then that's ideal because then they have a lot of shock and awe, as opposed to being able to see it and then watch it for a couple of seconds and then sort of fixate back on the doorway. Ooh, okay. And yeah, now it's getting really sketchy. It's a nice setup though. I'm wondering what they're shooting, if they're actually shooting live rounds. It doesn't sound like they are. I know they have suppressors, but it still sounds pretty quiet. I don't know, I can't tell, but obviously they'd be blasting holes in these walls unless these walls are like a really special kind of rubber or something, but they might just have training rounds. All right, good tactics so far though. We did it pretty much as fast as they're doing it, which is not going to be that fast, but it's more controlled than anything. And they have a lot of people. Holy shit, they have a lot of freaking people. Okay, this is making me super nervous. Yeah, like, it's nice to be able to have a lot of support in a room or in a building, especially that has a lot of different rooms. But when you have a lot of people just flowing to the hallway, like 20 operators in one hallway, it's kind of scary. Generally speaking, like, you can maybe push up, like these guys will go and handle, like maybe get 2 or 3 guys to handle this. And then you can have 1, 2 guys push up and then a couple guys can go this way. But in the hallway, you can maybe have a few supporting the one man, but you want to keep the rest of them kind of just chilling back here until they can push up as supports. It's really not that big of a deal, but there's a lot of people moving. And if someone starts lighting up the hallway, it can get scary. Okay, so I noticed, so he went in. This is tricky. So obviously you don't want to be putting your back too much to this, but when you have a danger area that's also right here, you don't really have a whole lot of say. So they're going in, they're engaging this dude. And since this is so close to this immediate doorway, you can't really stop here. It's better to just go ahead and take in. He can probably tell from the outside of the room that this is probably just a corner. So he's going and taking that. And I think I would probably do the same thing just because I would be sketched out to stop here when you have this danger area here. And let's see if this guy will actually pick up on this and kind of give this guy some coverage. Yep. Okay, so it's covering down on it. Good. Okay. Yeah, they're being really slow and methodical, which I kind of like. Nice. That was really good right there. So yeah, he's coming out. You have him. He's covering on this. Yeah, you can kind of hold center threat because you have 2 kind of danger areas here. And this guy, yeah, he's going to want to cover down on this. He can kind of keep all this stuff in his peripheral, but the 3-man can come and pick up this stuff. Him taking this is definitely a good move. Good stuff. Okay, but this right here is kind of sketch. Like, you have a bunch of people just walking in this very, very small space, and you don't want a lot of people kind of like trying to look in or push each other around. So yeah, maybe you get like a couple guys to support, but there probably shouldn't be more than like 5 in this one little corner here. Oh my gosh. It's like, sorry, if you guys have ever played the game Pikmin, this is kind of reminding me of that. Just like people just flowing into a space. Nice. They're taking it simultaneously. Very, very solid. If you guys watch Garanthem, you're very, very familiar with that target there. I'm pretty impressed with these tactics, though. All right, they got a ballistic breacher. Oh, nice. They got 2 ballistic breachers. Okay, hold on. There's a bad guy here. I hope somebody shot him. Oh, nobody's shooting him. I mean, I can't tell if it's a bad guy. He's wearing a ski mask, so I'm more inclined to think he's a bad guy. But if he doesn't have a gun, then hey, it's good on them that they're not shooting. But I don't, generally targets like that are probably bad guys. I can't tell. All right, they're taking that down. Yep, smoke those dudes. Nice. He's got a KSG, I think. I'm really impressed with these tactics. Like, we would do it very, very similar. Yep, okay, so we can see here now that two-man did blow past. This is still a corner-fed room, but the one man is going and getting this corner, which is advised because, you know, he can kind of see that this corner was sort of clear. So he's going there, and the two-man is riding the wall and taking that. Nice. Okay. So maybe there's different color walls kind of help with like just tracking who's in what room, or maybe setting boundaries for multiple team clearing. It's a nice facility though, I will say. And even if they can't use like live rounds, you know, live rounds kind of help because it gets like really smoky and obviously louder. Okay, in a courtyard. But having those training rounds is good too. I noticed, I think this dude didn't get his corner exactly. Yeah, he didn't really drive the corner, but okay, not bad then. Looks like you got a lot of other guys to cover down on it anyway. Jeez. Just overwhelm the entire area with operators. What is it covering down on? I can't really... It looks like it's just a wall. Okay, so not gonna lie, I was pretty freaking impressed with these tactics. Again, like I saw maybe 20, 30 seconds of this originally, and I was pretty impressed with, again, just the layout. The layout is, it's not too complicated to where you just, it's gonna look like a show just from like training the basics, but it's not so easy to the point where, you know, you basically don't have to think about it. You just get very comfortable doing it. If you switch up the stack order, people are going to be hitting up different parts of these rooms and whatnot, and it gets some pretty good practice. Yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot I saw bad about this. Again, like they definitely know what to cover down on. Taking this simultaneously is always good. If you have these sort of danger areas and you have, you know, the amount of people to support those danger areas, if you can take them down simultaneously, that would be ideal because you want a lot of shock and awe. And even like the small things, so you can see the one men are focused on the danger area, which is good. You don't want them turning away because the second they turn away, somebody could start moving inside the room. You want them focused and covering that. So the two men are going to be worrying about the flashbang. And you can see in this clip right here, he's holding the flashbang up so the two men or the one man can see it in his peripheral vision. So he doesn't have to like look and try and verify, you know, what's sort of happening here. I'm not going to do that again. But he doesn't have to worry about what's happening sort of like behind him. He's making sure he's getting that flashbang up there enough so the dude can see it in his peripheral. He can just give a head nod, keeping his eyes on the danger area. And then the two man is going to go ahead and send it. And then just like that, flashbang goes off. And again, they're not rushing into the room. A lot of people, once a flashbang goes off, they want to rush into the room. But the faster you go, the faster you have to process everything. And, you know, sometimes you just can't process it that fast, especially when a lot of, you know, stuff is going down. You've already engaged a bunch of people or what have you. You don't want to be rushing to the room and trying to have to process things really quickly because it's going to get very sloppy very quick. But of course, like with any CQB breakdown video, I want to know what you guys think. If you saw anything ugly, if you saw anything good, let me know down in the comment section. Again, it's easier to focus on some of the ugly things or things that people missed. But when you have professionals like this, it's nice to be able to highlight, you know, why they're doing certain things or why they're positioning themselves a certain way. Yeah, it's nice to see. And yeah, I definitely enjoyed checking out this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me checking out this video and adding a little bit to it as far as like my sort of mentality and how we used to train CQB. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. That is it for this video. I will see y'all in the next one.